everybody, what's going on? It's Caden Cleveland here with the Oklahoma Senate. You are joining us for the 4th episode of OK Senate Sit Down. We got a very special episode this week with Senator Kim David, who is our Majority Floor Leader, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. And we got a lot of different topics, even beyond just her role as floor leader, that we're going to be discussing today. So hang tight with us, guys, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. As I said before, we are joined here with Senator Kim David, who is our Majority Floor Leader right now. Now, Senator David, while you are currently our Majority Floor Leader, there's a question that I got to ask you before we get there. You are previously our Appropriations Chair. You were our Appropriations Chair last year. So really, I want to just get your input on where we are headed. You probably have more in-depth knowledge than almost anybody in the Senate of our appropriations process and where we're at right now. So really, I just want to get your input on where we're going, where we're at right now, and what things are looking like.
Okay. Well, I'm very confident in where Oklahoma is today. You know, we worked on a lot of really difficult issues over the last 2 years, and we put a lot of very small measures in place, and we put a couple of big measures in place. But all of them were geared towards giving us a stronger economy going forward. And we're seeing those results now, the benefits of that. I mean, we've got, our numbers are up on general revenue, sales tax is up, people are back to work. I mean, it's just Oklahoma's economy is finally coming back around. You know, we always lag behind a few years from the national economy anyway. And even with, you know, we've had a slight fluctuation in the oil and gas prices right now, but still the things that we've put in place, we've worked so hard on finding efficiencies and cutting out waste, and we'll continue to do that moving forward. I have all the confidence in the world in Senator Thompson moving forward in the appropriations process. But you almost have to remain cautious moving forward, that we don't overspend, but we've done really well in the last few years. This body has as a whole in putting Oklahoma on a good footing.
That's awesome. So it sounds like, and not only coming from you, but from just from a lot of the Senate members in general, it sounds like there's a lot of optimism moving forward as far as the budget process goes.
Oh, yes.
But like you said, even though it's a better situation that we are moving into this year than we faced the past few years, that doesn't mean that our mentality changes as far as how we appropriate money, correct?
No, we still don't have money to just, you know, be frivolous with. No, whether it's corrections or whether it's education. Some of the biggest numbers I've seen out there have been coming from corrections. Some of them. But you know, we still have to have a very solid plan moving forward on where we're going to spend money and how we're going to spend money. These are still taxpayer dollars. We don't make our own money, so as long as our economy stays up, then we'll be fine. But we still have to, moving forward, make sure that we still watch where every dollar is going.
Gotcha. So one of the things that Senator Treat is working on implementing moving into this year is something we talked about on his podcast last week or a few weeks ago, is a legislative budget office. Now, is that something that you see potential in? Are you excited about that? What would the benefits be of that?
I'm very excited about that and 100% supportive of that. What we really need is, we need, you know, those staff members, those accountants that can really dig into the numbers that are coming from those agencies and start giving us a return on investment. So that when we start making decisions about where dollars need to go, we know whether that program is working or not working.
Gotcha. So if you may not know, a few weeks ago we talked about this legislative budget office. And just to kind of give you some background information, what that would be is essentially a new branch that, or not branch, but a new a group of workers, of staffers, who would really, their sole purpose would be to dive deep into level 10 of how the agency works, what they're doing, and this is across the state, like every agency, correct?
Well, legislators just don't have the time to do that deep dive into every agency. So this gives us that staff that can do that.
Gotcha.
That way, we're dealing with the numbers at the top. Mm-hmm. We've got people out there doing the work. We get the numbers at the top so that we can start moving into appropriating those dollars and where they need to be appropriated.
So this is something that Senator Treat looked at in an interim study that a lot of other states are doing right now.
Most other states are.
Yeah, most others are, and we are not taking advantage of that yet. So it's something that we're looking into moving into this upcoming session.
Absolutely.
So something else to kind of ask you an unrelated question here, unless you had something else to add on the appropriate. So Senator Treat just named you a few months ago now, the next majority floor leader for the Oklahoma Senate.
Yes.
That's a little bit different role than you had before as the appropriations chair. So let me ask you this: moving into this new role, have you been preparing for this new challenge in a certain way, or what are your thoughts on this upcoming session?
I'm really excited about the new challenge. I've spent so many years just delving in the numbers on the fiscal side of what goes on in the state. I'm really excited about getting into more of the policy side and also building those relationships with my other members, because really part of being the majority floor leader is having those relationships with everyone else in the Senate and building those relationships with the House members and the governor's staff, and so that we're all a team moving forward. So we kind of break down some of those independent cylinders of what goes on out there, and we become a team and we start moving the state forward.
Well, that's awesome. That's amazing that that's your vision moving forward, because just how much more efficiently and will everything run around here is that as we all kind of work together in a singular vision kind of moving forward for the state of Oklahoma. That's just a huge benefit.
Absolutely. One of the things that I was able to do this summer, because Pro Tem Treat decided to name me early in the year as the incoming floor leader, I worked on the agenda committee and then the rules committee. So we brought in different senators to sit down and really look at, like on the agenda committee, we really looked at what it was going to take to move our state forward. So what was fantastic about this group is what we realized is that the focus of our state needs to be on our children, first and foremost. We all have been out on the campaign trail and we've heard what our public wants. They want better education. They want better health care. Well, that all boils down to our children and our future. So what do we need to put in place to give our children and our grandchildren what the tools that they need to be able to be successful and to become the best leaders of the state?
That is such a refreshing viewpoint and take on the whole situation itself, because it's a way of thinking about it that is, it's no longer a band-aid sort of way of thinking. It's more so, let's think long term. What are our kids going to inherit as we move forward? So I love that way of thinking.
Well, if you really stop and think about it, for the best outcomes for our kids, well, you've got to have the best teachers, you've got to have the best schools, you've got to have good health care. Because you have to have all that to be able to have the best future for our children. So turn the focus to, these are our children, these are our grandkids, this is the future of Oklahoma. What do we need to do to make sure that they have everything that they need? But on the other end of that, we also have to make sure that we have to take care of the people of our state who are the most vulnerable.
That's exactly right.
Whether it's our aging, whether it's people with disabilities. So if you keep the focus on the person and what they need to be able to stay in their home, to have a productive life, then everything else that you do dovetails into that.
That's right.
So it's all about where the focus is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so one more question here, just as we kind of wrap things up here. One other, or I guess two other roles that Senator Treat has let you take on. I guess let you is, has challenged you with, is the chair for both our rules committee and then also our agenda committee. Is that am I phrasing that right?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So what will those two roles look like as we move into session?
Well, of course we just finished putting together the rules for the Senate. The proposed rules for the Senate, for the joint rules, and then for the caucus rules, of course. And the team has put together, a great set of what we believe is necessary to be put in place for us all to be able to do our job. We have a lot of new members, and the biggest challenge will be making sure all of our new members know how it's been done in the past and how to move forward.
That's right.
Typically you spend the first couple of years just trying to figure out where the bathroom is, but we have to work smarter and faster because of term limits.
Absolutely.
So the whole goal of the rules committee is putting all the tools in place so that everyone's able to work smarter and faster.
Okay. Gotcha. So it sounds like as the rules committee chair, you'll be kind of putting together that vision to make sure that everything is running smoothly here in the Senate. Does that sound about right?
That will absolutely be my goal.
Awesome. Love it. Well, we're about out of time, but is there anything else that you wanted to add on before we sign off?
No, I'm very excited, very honored to be the incoming majority floor leader.
That's awesome. And we're excited about that. Honestly, every senator that we've been able to sit down and talk to and talk about the upcoming session, not one has had any reservations. It's just been optimism and looking forward to a sense of excitement as we move into session.
Good. So, we want to keep that moving forward.
I know, right? That's exciting.
Absolutely.
It's a different feeling.
Yes,
so I'm really excited moving to session. So,
thank you.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us this week. Again, we have our majority floor leader, Senator Kim David, here. I'm so excited about the role that you'll be taking on this year and just the Senate and as a whole, as the mission and the sense of opportunity that we have this year is very exciting. So, guys, I hope you've been able to kind of learn a little bit about what Senator David has been doing, everything that she's got going on. She's doing an amazing job. She's done an amazing job as our appropriations chair last year, and I expect nothing but amazing things as we move into this upcoming session with her as our majority floor leader. So, hope you guys can join us again next week, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys.